Imagine for a moment that you suddenly knew exactly where you would be and what you'd decide to do, exactly 30 days from today. Every step and every word mapped out perfectly in your mind. Our brains reject this premise. We are biologically wired to believe that a cause has to happen before an effect. You weigh their options, you make a decision, and then, and only then, the future happens. For centuries, science backed up this intuition. In the 1600s, Isaac Newton proposed that the universe operates on a single shared clock. Whether you are standing on Earth or sitting on a distant planet, time was understood as an absolute constant, ticking away at the same rhythm for everyone. This feeling of a steady, flowing timeline is exactly why we feel in control. It allows us to believe we are the active authors of our own future. Then, in 1905, Albert Einstein dismantled that 300-year-old consensus. He introduced the theory of special relativity, proving that a universal clock simply doesn't exist. Einstein showed that instead of a rigid river flowing steadily, time is a flexible property. It bends. Your experience of time depends on speed and gravity. If you accelerate, your clock slows down relative to someone standing still. The math reveals a staggering result. 24 hours passing for you could equal 24 years, or even 24 seconds for an observer somewhere else in the cosmos. Because time moves at different rates for everyone, there is no single universal now that binds the cosmos together. Our shared experience of time as a straight, predictable line is actually a series of individual, disjointed perspectives. To see how deeply this breaks our reality, astrophysicist Roger Penrose proposed a thought experiment called the Andromeda paradox. It illustrates that our perception of the present is entirely subjective. Picture two friends, Ashwini and Kartik, passing each other on a street. They are walking at a slow, normal pace, but in opposite directions. Now, look 2.5 million light-years away to the Andromeda galaxy. Let's imagine an alien civilization lives there. Because Ashwini is walking towards the Andromeda galaxy, his movement angles his personal slice of time. In his relative present moment, the alien leaders in Andromeda are still debating whether or not to attack Earth. But Kartik is walking in the opposite direction. That simple change in physical orientation shifts his temporal perspective. In Kartik's present moment, the massive alien fleet has already launched and is rapidly flying towards our planet. If an event, like an alien launch, is in one person's future but another person's past at the exact same moment, that event must already physically exist somewhere in the cosmos. This is the block universe theory. Physics treats time as a fourth physical dimension attached to our 3D reality, occupying a fixed location. Think of a DVD. You experience scenes moving sequentially, but the entire story is already permanently printed on the disc. In 1949, the mathematician Kurt Gödel took Einstein's equations even further. He showed that in a rotating universe, space and time could be dragged into a loop. This model allows for closed time-like curves, where a path through the universe eventually returns to its own past. This scientific rejection of linear time finds a conceptual parallel in ancient Indian philosophy. In the Vedas and Puranas, time is viewed as cyclic and eternal, suggesting that the universe returns to its starting point over and over again. When sage Valmiki wrote the Ramayana, before the events actually took place, it was described as an observation of a story that was already complete. It suggests a reality where the whole of history is accessible at once, much like the moments frozen inside that 4D block. Across both mathematical models and ancient mysticism, the conclusion is consistent. The universe's history and its future are not being written as we go. They are already fully finished. If your next choice, your next career move, and your next mistake are already printed in this 4D block, what happens to free will? In a block universe, we aren't truly deciding anything. We are simply experiencing a choice that has already been made and locked into the fabric of the cosmos. Einstein accepted this. Near the end of his life, he wrote that, for those of us who believe in physics, the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Our sensation of forging a new path is a biological trick. We are the observers, not the active creators of our own life story. Relinquishing the idea of control is a difficult shift in perspective, but it offers a different kind of peace. If every moment is already established, the pressure of making the perfect choice begins to fade. It also changes how we view loss. The moments you shared with people who are gone have not been erased by time or turned into nothingness. In a block universe, those events exist forever at their exact physical coordinates. Your childhood and the people you love are perfectly preserved in space-time. Our consciousness has simply moved past those specific points. You are the lead actor stepping onto a stage to perform a script that was finalized by the universe billions of years ago. Since we cannot change the timeline, we can let go of the burden of control. We can simply sit back and marvel at the ride.